There's no more poker left or life decisions left when you're all in early.
Right. To compare it to life, you've saved up $100,000 and some guy goes, you got to put it all into this business venture.
Crypto.
It
Crypto.
can't, yeah, it can't lose.
Crypto. Altcoins.
You can't afford to put it all in. Invest $5,000 in something.
Diversify. And survive to the next hand. Life
Right.
is about surviving the next hand
Surviving
too.
the next hand too,
So don't
right.
go all in with your life.
Knock him out the box, Rick. Knock him out, Rick. Knock him out the box.
No money, no honey.
No money, no honey, baby.
Okay.
Even Ben said that shit on his podcast.
Did he?
Yes, he did.
I missed that part. God damn it, Ben. Ben is so wise past what
Dude, we gotta have another one because now he's more mature and he can sit. Because he was doing too many fart jokes, we had to edit it all out.
Oh, okay.
I can't do 10 minutes of fart jokes straight.
Right.
After like 4 minutes, it's
Sure.
not funny.
Right. So another thing with the adjustment in poker is
Yes.
you have to be able to sit down at the table for hours at a time and maybe only 30 minutes. And if you make your profit per hour in the first 30 minutes because you won some big pot that you didn't expect to happen, you got to have the discipline, the whereabouts, the knowledge to take an out button, go to the restroom, go get a soda, your favorite beverage of choice, come back, get in a different game and start over. And I've got profit for the day, even if I lose my buy-in that other table, or I might just call it a day and leave for the day. And I get to put that black mark in the book instead of a red mark. Okay.
Is for
Right,
psychological
that's one way.
purpose. That's also
It's
important.
psychological in poker, man.
Leave
It's
with a
so
win.
important, man.
Leave with a win.
You just hit a big thing.
I
'cause
made that
when you
mistake
are-
so many times, James. Just leave with the
course.
goddamn fucking
Of
win.
course. There's no
It's
such
just-
thing
it's
as I should have sat.
statistics. I should
Don't
have.
shit in that seat because I sat in that seat I won, or I didn't sit in that seat that I won. We all muck the cards differently.
Right.
You're not getting the same hands as that
Thank you.
guy. Okay. But let me say,
Never said should.
the
You
other
did
thing-
the right play. If you do the right play, it doesn't matter if
I-
you win or lose.
if I get my money in good, I don't care if you bust me every single time.
Exactly.
And if a guy says you're sorry, I said, don't be sorry. You put your money in there. If you put your money in there, I don't care if you beat me. You'll never lose at poker if you get your money in good. It's the law of large numbers, which is a math axiom.
You
by
might
the way.
lose the battle, but you'll win the war.
Bankroll is super important.
Yes.
Game choice. And that could be applied to a lot of things. Investing in stocks. Invest in stocks that maybe you know about. Game choice.
Game choice.
Sitting down in a
Like
game.
invest in stock that the industry is something you understand.
Get in your industry.
Game choice.
Game choice. Sit in a game that because the most famous players are there and you want to beat them, not a good game choice. Being the fourth best player in the world and playing with the top 3 players in the world, not a good game choice. So game selection is very important in life and in poker. Bankroll, very important in life and in poker.
But how much bankroll should you have?
Depends on what game you're playing. So it
Well,
adjusts.
for example-
Sliding scale.
Well, if you
Give me
want
an
to,
example.
yeah,
Give me an
Well,
example.
yeah, like if you want to
In
play
your
a cash
opinion.
game, because it relates to business too. Like
20
you shouldn't
buy-ins.
invest all your
20
your money.
buy-ins.
You should have 20 buy-ins. There you go.
A lot of people- I don't leave the house without $5,000 because I never know when a game's going to break out. Maybe you want to challenge me after this podcast to a game. I don't know. I'd welcome it, but I wouldn't do it to you because poker's very voluntaristic.
I will not play poker with you until you teach me.
Okay. Do the opposite of the table you're playing at. Why? Because you'll take advantage of their spewiness.
Take advantage of the spewiness.
I'm not going to forget, but
It makes sense to me, but it didn't
you ins-
5 minutes ago.
You inspired me of your excitement for the World Series of Poker. I got you a little fun grab bag.
I'm
This is
just
for-
the
this is for
talent,
you.
man. I'm
That's for
nobody.
you. That's for you.
Can I open it?
Yeah. That's why I gave it to you.
Get
right
the
now.
fuck out. My first present as a
Two
host.
two presents.
Hey,
in
let's start
It's a little-
a thing.
there. A little swag bag. A little swag bag.
Hey, man.
So check that out. You're gonna like the back of that. First,
right.
you like the front
Oh,
too.
let's go.
You're gonna like the front. The back is every
Look at
single
that.
tournament. So people don't understand the World Series of Poker, right? They think it's just the main event that you see on TV. And
Our first sponsor.
way,
Thank you, James, for bringing our first
Cityscape
sponsor.
IT Pros. No,
James
James
said that we're sponsored by the World Series of Poker. WSOP, check them out.
Caesars Entertainment.
Caesars Entertainment, Rio.
So I got you that because I want to inspire you to someday make it there. Anytime you want to
Yeah.
go, I'm up there for usually a lot of the series. And there's a hat there, Live Lucky,
Oh,
Live Lucky. They got that. They trademarked that with the World Series of Poker logo on the side. I had another one in here.
Okay, let's see
I had
if
another
it
one here in
fits my
case it was
big head.
size, but because
Oh,
I
damn.
love you and you're a great guy, here's a white one. There. I like to give first, and if I get anything back, if it's even
Yes.
just love or understanding,
Oh, yeah, man.
I don't care.
If you played
unheard of.
poker more often and didn't do as much IT, would you make more per hour?
I would make per hour, but I guess maybe there's still a 10% thing that I hate to pass up. Guaranteed money. IT is guaranteed, right? No matter what.
But I just had a
There's
thought.
no variance. There's no
Okay,
variance in
but-
IT.
But I got
There's
to tell
still
you
variance
that
in poker.
I
Even
think you're
though
playing the wrong hand. Can I tell you
yeah,
why?
please
Because,
do, man. Fight me on it.
yeah, I'm
'cause
going to fight you on it.
Yeah, please
I'll
do.
tell you why.
Please do.
You're doing a plethora of IT work that brings your average rate to 150 because you're doing stuff that isn't the high value stuff for your company instead of having someone else do it, while also taking time away from poker such that your hourly poker rate isn't as high as it could be. Therefore, you should obviously turn down the number of things you do low level on IT to raise that rate and lower the hours you work overall, thereby increasing the hours you work in poker and raising the rate you're paying. No brainer, baby. You got pocket aces, boy. Make a bet. Am I wrong? Fight that logic.
So I'm not going to fight it because
I'm
you're
not
right.
gonna.
Because you're right. Unfortunately, sometimes when you're
That's
too,
some genius shit right there, man. You got to
Absolutely.
admit,
No,
I'm
no,
close to that 147, I think.
you probably are.
Yeah.
I bet.
I have a lot of
Maybe you're
friends in that
maybe
range.
Maybe you're 155.
Maybe.
So building myself, I've always taken pieces of like a lot of different things, whether it was a poker player and taking
Yeah.
a piece of Daniel Negreanu, taking a piece of Phil Hellman's game and putting together. Kind of same thing in IT. I've had a lot of IT mentors along the way. But one of the things that you say is I'm really too close to the situation probably to evaluate that.
Right.
And a guy like you stepping looking from the outside, looking in and saying what I should be doing is probably right. My wife has said it a few times, but I'm also
Insecurity,
kids-
lack of belief in yourself. It's the 3 C's: confidence, clarity, and courage. You've got the courage. You kind of have the clarity
and somewhat the confidence.
because you kind of know, like, I love poker. You said it. It's my number one thing. IT's like, I love it because it helps my family.
It's
That doesn't-
guaranteed.
Yeah, and guaranteed.
It
but
is
that's not
100%
passion.
guaranteed.
We're talking about passion here.
Okay,
Let's take
it's
some
not my
points.
passion. No.
And your fear and lack of, I think it's the confidence that's still, even though you're highly confident, James,
Okay.
but to do the thing I'm suggesting requires like to play poker requires a high level of, these poker players are highly confident alpha males usually, or alpha females usually.
I'm a different person on the felt.
Yeah.
I'm a different person on the basketball
That's
court.
what I'm saying. So
I'm a different person on
to
the felt,
go,
a
fuck
different
it,
person
I'm
on the
gonna
basketball court.
To go, fuck it, I'm going to go play poker for a living for like full time, for example, or 80%, and then 20% I'll do some IT shit, advisory, and whatever other shit I'm going to do, and coach a team on the side. Maybe I'll make some money there, but, and that 80%
Right.
will, you just told me will drive up your average hourly income.
Well, based on
And it doesn't sound like you'd be burned out by it. You kind of would
I
love
wouldn't be
it.
burned out, but I'll tell you why. I
Then,
already know
dude,
what it is, and it just took a while to.
The fact that you know what it is and you're saying you're not going to be burned out.
well, maybe you'll
Because I know people that kind of said they loved it and got burned out after a few years. You already know
I'll
what
never
you're
be
getting
burned
into. So
I've
it's
been
a
playing it
no-brainer. It's a fear thing.
I
You're
played-
letting the fear stop you from parachuting out of the plane.
You're
But
right.
the fear is always going to be there.
You're
You
right.
just got to crank up the courage and go,
But what is the fear?
I'm going to do it. The
What-
fear that
do you know
you're
what
not
the fear
good
is?
enough. Yeah, that you're not good enough.
No,
What is that? You're going to fail your family. You're going to become
Thank
a
you.
poker alcoholic.
no, I wouldn't fear my family. I wouldn't.
Desert your family and be a bad boy. Can I tell you, I can envision you. I'm just giving this to you as motivation. I
I'm
really believe this.
Googleable. You can see images of
I
me at the
can
final table. I'm
visualize
Googleable.
you winning the World Series of Poker main event.
Me
You
too.
look like
Me
a
too.
person that would win.
Me too. Because if you don't envision it, if you don't see it, it ain't going to happen.
And you're going
You
to
have to
be,
believe it's going to
you're
happen.
going to be at that final table. You're going to be heads up and you're going to have to decide, do I play it safe or do I play it the way I've been playing, which is
Right.
do what fucking works.
Right.
Do the opposite of what he's doing.
Right.
Or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Or reverse that because
Right.
you realize he's looking at that. Like,
What-
you can't play scared.
You hit on one of
can't
the things-
play,
No.
oh, I just don't want people to, I just don't want to be embarrassed that he just
don't
takes
want-
my chips. If I got to go
Yeah.
all in, I'm going all in, baby.
Yeah.
Give yourself
For
a
sure.
chance to win.
Yeah. And give
Not-
yourself a chance to win
don't
where
lose.
maybe the people watching it on the broadcast, the 30-minute delay, might second guess what you did and go, dude, you
Right.
lost the series right there. What were you thinking? I don't care because it's
Don't
probably
play
maybe
not
my,
to lose.
It's what I believe my chance to win. But you said something that's really important to me, that when you're in the moment, you really have to take your time to think things through and
Yeah.
not just act on impulse. Because a lot of times when you feel like you're hot or you're like doing everything right,
Get cocky.
you get cocky.
You have a time.
I feel
you
that
don't
all the
get
time.
more chips by going in right then. You
Right.
have plenty of time to think.
You know how many people get knocked
Why
out on the
wait?
first
Why
hand of the
not? Why
world?
not wait and make sure? Wait a second. Hold on a second. Let me think this through.
How about this? I'll give you a scenario. First hand of the World Series of Poker, you have 500 big blinds. What does that mean? You have 500 times the amount of the chips that you're forced to play.
Right.
And this decision maybe comes down to someone. Every year we play in the main event, 2-hour levels, best tournament ever created, $10,000 hard cash buy-in or winning your way in based on those chips I showed you. And do you know how many people go out first hand because they can't play pocket aces correctly? I'm not telling you to fold pocket aces, but why are you going all in at the first level?
Right.
And giving that guy a chance to win with luck because he runs the deck out on you.
Right.
There's no more poker left or life decisions left when you're all in early.
Right.
Right.
It's kind of like you've been saving your money to compare it to life. You've saved up $100,000, and some guy goes, "You got to put it all into this business venture. It can't lose.
Crypto, altcoins.
You can't afford to put it all in. Invest 5,000 in something. Diversify. See which one works better. A and B test shit.
Right.
People A and B test shit.
And a lot of people say, well, what if he goes all in? I said, that's a different story. I'm not folding pocket aces pre-flop. It is the best hand in poker. I will go out on the first hand if they put it all in. But you know how many guys tell me I put it all in because I was afraid he's going to draw out on me? Well, guess what? He's not smart enough to fold pocket kings, and he's going to call you. And if there's a king on the flop, you can't play defense and survive to the next hand. Life is about surviving the next hand too. So don't go all in with your life. And when you say be a poker player for a living, sometimes I feel like the biggest fear I have is not that I'm not good enough, because I know you said that, and I don't take offense to that at all. That's just an observation you might make, because a lot of people probably that you meet don't.
Well, I believe you. It's some other fear. So what is it?
It's not even really a fear. It's the guarantee. I guaranteed and promised myself that my kids will never have to worry about anything as long as I'm their dad. And if I'm a poker player, I can't account for 99.9%. What if I go on the worst variance run? If you run the law of large numbers in mathematics, you can lose 100 hands in a row blackjack, by the way. And you can also lose 100 hands in poker. My kids don't have any choice in this matter. And I promised myself when I was that 9-year-old kid that I would never let my kids live that life. I would take in the guarantee, which is IT, to guarantee that.
Can I argue that?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
First of all, you should talk to your kids about it, because you're not even.
Well,
have you said, hey, Tyler? Why not? Is he not intelligent enough to have a conversation with you about it? How do you know Tyler's not going to say, Dad, go, Jesus Christ, you're pissing me off already. I've been waiting for you to fucking do it already. Okay, how do you know he's not going to say that?
I'll tell you why. Interjection is that when I wanted to invest in Doji Coin, and I asked him, I said, Tyler, I'm going on what you're going to say. I'm going to go on what you said, because you know more about this than I do. You actually knew a little bit more about crypto at that moment before I did. I said, but I think we got to get in and get out. He goes, Dad, Doji Coin's a piece of shit, bullshit fucking coin that isn't going to do anything. He was kind of right. But he didn't realize that the public didn't believe that. And if the public perception invested in it and drove the price up, we could have taken advantage of that.
That's not a good argument for you, because
why not? He made a bad decision right there. You know what he would tell me? You know what he would tell me though?
Because he's not a Doji Coin type investor, because
he's not a poker player either.
Coin, exactly. But we're talking about your life, not investing in Doji Coin. You're asking him, hey, son, should I pursue my passion now or wait till you're all set? It's a different.
I'll tell you why.
Question.
Qatar will answer it that I shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. I already know the answer. Because when I give him any money at all, he says, Dad, I'm good. I don't need it.
Yeah.
Even if he needs it.
He's conservative.
That kid used to give his lunch money to kids that needed to eat.
That doesn't prove that you're right. I think you should still have the conversation only out of respect and go. And I would have this conversation with my son and say, I'm still going to choose what I think is right for my life, but I want to get your opinion. Okay. It doesn't mean you're going to do
I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask him now. Yeah. Because you said this.
Because that might solve everything.
Could.
That might.
I know Tori would be all for it. Tori's more aggressive. Tori's going to play in the World Series of Poker. I'm going to put her in when she's 21. How about this little daddy-daughter hang? When she's 21, I'm taking her to the World Series of Poker and put her in the ladies event. $1,000 buy-in.
What, you have to wait till 21?
Can't play poker in Vegas unless you're 21. Okay. New Jersey, I think it's 18, but the World Series of Poker is in Vegas. You have to be 21.
And she's 19 now?
Yeah. Her 21st birthday party is going to be amazing. I got like a lot of connections up there. She's going to have a hell of a time. Yeah. What makes a poker player professional too? I want to hit that real quick.
Yeah.
Someone that does make the correct game selection and actually manages his bankroll, and treats it as a business. That's a poker professional. A lot of
And
guys
has a
win a
return?
tournament and they think that they're a poker professional because there's no set thing that you have to apply for and go, you're a poker pro and you're part of our community now. They just self-label themselves. I told you I'm not really about self-labeling. So when anyone asks me, James, why don't you play poker for a living? I tell them I'm a semi-professional poker player that has a family support. I'm taking the guaranteed route, which kind of goes with what you were saying today.
You could do both, but it's maybe the shifting of the.
Of the
I like the
percentages.
shifting because I feel like you could just do 20% of the IT work you do today
And probably making not a lot of
and
money
make
still.
80% of the money.
I do need to do it.
Right? 80-20 rule.
You're right. I need to get more people.
It's
I
not
need
by
to be
not,
more of an
you have
owner.
to solve. Yeah.
I need to be more of an owner
Yes,
than an
than
employee of my business.
You're managing the business, bro.
Yes. And I'm
It's
not.
time to
I'm not
go to
enough
the-
of an owner.
Yeah.
You hit
It's
on a
time
really
to
big point.
empower your people or find people to empower to manage your
I
business
like it.
that come to you and go, James, I hit a fork in the road. Well, what do you think? Okay, well, I agree. Or what about that? You're just you're still utilizing the most valuable piece of what you have, which is your experience and your decision-making ability when the managers don't know what to do already, because they already know what to do 80% of the time.
Sure.
So they come to you to the 20, and so you're still making 80% of the money, dude.
You're right.
You spending 20% of your time, if you're smart about it,
Maybe 60%. Right.
maybe.
I'm too fair as an owner.
Who cares? The point is you're making more than now and spending more time poker and family,
Yeah. I would have more time.
and you're
with
probably
Kelly.
going to end up making more overall.
Yeah, because Kelly and I'd be able to travel.
Yeah.
To these tournaments.
And Kelly,
they're profitable tournaments.
dude, she's not just a life partner, or let's say she's a life partner that has also potential to be business partner. Like she could be your poker manager. Like
She's
type
my
of
poker
person.
coach already. Now she could be
Yeah.
my poker manager.
Right.
Yeah, you're
She's
right.
like, she's in your corner going, you could do this, baby.
Oh,
That's
man.
huge, because some wives will be like, oh my God, you're doing your poker again.
The guys running out with their cell phones, running outside because they can't take the phone call in the card clubs
Right.
because they didn't tell their wives
See?
that they were there.
See, I'm not down with that anymore. I'm just saying,
That was you before.
yes.
I don't blame
Not-
you. Most people
yeah,
have to go that
Probably I
route.
was.
I
Not
got lucky
anymore.
with Kelly, and at first I'll tell you, Kelly
I'm me
wasn't
now.
100% in, but I proved it to her fast.
Right.
I proved it to her
Well,
fast
that's
and showed her
that's fine.
that you can do this. And when she wanted to play blackjack, I said, I'll watch you play and I'll give you some seed money. I'm not playing because there's no edge. Have fun. Here's the money. Go blow it.
Yeah.
Have fun. I'll watch you.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Just BTW, I want to tell you this. I know
Yeah.
that I really appreciate you inviting me on this. And I know maybe you feel like I was doing you a favor by coming on it, but I also feel like you did me a favor too.
Thank you, man.
Seriously.
I always feel like
Seriously.
people are doing me a favor coming on, man.
No, I feel like you did me a favor too.
Wow, thank you. No, I
I
know
appreciate
that
it.
it's a two-way
Not-
street
Yeah.
always, and I know that I really know that. I understand that you understand that.
Yeah.
And I do too.
Yeah.
But it always is, even people that are young, that aren't as experienced come on,
Mhm.
they think that I'm helping them, but I'm
Right.
like, dude, I'm listening to you, man. Like and even them listening to you,
Mhm.
when you're listening to what I have to say, going, Rick, you have something to say. Wow, that's validation from a successful human being that wasn't handed anything. That's a big deal. Look, when you're given a bankroll, it does make it easier.
Right.
You can pay for the fucking classes right out of the gate.
And there are guys that get bought into tournaments.
Yeah.
They have backers.
And that have paid for the best to train them. Hey, Daniel.
That
Hey,
too.
Negranu, I need you to like,
Daniel
Yeah.
played a big heads-up match against Doug Polk. It's on the internet if you look for it. All you gotta do is go on YouTube and search for it. He played $1 million challenge they would play for $1 million side bet, and whatever money was won in the heads up, and they agreed to 25,000 hands heads up, I believe, maybe 50,000. Doug Polk's one of the best heads up players in the world. Daniel wanted to challenge himself because Daniel Negreanu is one of the top tournament players in the world too, but he's not known for his heads up game. He challenged himself, took on the best, knowing he was at basically a deficit and an underdog to him, but he went out and got training. That's why I said it, because you mentioned that even the greats get training.
yes.
He went out and got all the training. He still lost. Doug is just amazing.
Wow.
You want to learn about poker for free? Just go on the internet. Shout out to Doug Polk.
Doug Polk,
Polk. P-O-L-K.
and he says that he pronounces the L.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. He does
I've
a
never
podcast.
met a-
He breaks down hands. He has a website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug Polk.
Yes.
I never
Top
met
heads-up players in the world.
Met a Polk. Hi, honey. We're way over.
We're
but
way over.
I try to tell Peter, we're not going to keep it to an hour. Knock him out the box, Rick. Knock him out, Rick. Knock him out the box.